Hey dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump into today's inspiration. You see already on the table are the things we need for this DIY for today. So you see already the tumbler towel blocks, the smaller blocks. And I have here my container, like you all know, with some scissors, markers, some cutters, and of course some mud pots, some twine. Just everything you need for your DIY. It can be different than what I need. And of course, what we all need is of course the wood glue or maybe the hot glue, but I recommend always the wood glue. But for this DIY you also can use the hot glue. To take some paint at your choice, I only showed you this way, but it can change up by the minute with me, so don't worry about it. And I have here my old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue we don't need. We are going to make today something for the coming fall season, and I'm going to try to make the easiest pumpkins you can make. So I am going to try and do my best to make them as easy as I can. I made already a couple of pumpkins, but I never am really happy with the end result I made them. So I hope this time we are really going to make together two or three nice pumpkins, but with different sizes. So the first step will be 6 blocks like this. And what we're going to do, we are going to glue them 2 together. So this way, and we glue this one. We do this one and place it together, and we do this one. And of course the glue is already running out, so I'm going to squeeze it, make a straight line, squeeze it, and again over here. We're going to wipe away the glue. And of course, afterwards, always redo your blocks and make sure that you have a straight line in blocks, because you don't want that this will be the inside will be crooked. So we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We do some glue over here and we place this one on top. We do here the same. And we place this one on top. So we're going to place it on the side, give it some pressure, place it straight up and make a nice square out of it. And we're going to let this dry because we need this already a little bit later. Now we're going to do 2 blocks. We're going to glue them together and this way over here. And we place this also over here. We're going to now take 6 blocks. 3, 4, 5, 6, and again another 6 blocks. And we are going to glue them together. So again, on the longest line of your blocks, you just row them easily together. And this is already the last, and number 6 is the closure up. And we have here the same. Always the last is the closure up, how many blocks you even use. So again, squeeze it from within and again give it some pressure over here. You do here the same, squeeze it from within and then from the outside. And still, don't worry if it pops out, it doesn't matter, you easily glue everything together again. You wipe away the glue you don't need, and again straighten up the line. And this way you can of course use a carpenter's square, but I always do it with my hands. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while this square is drying, this loose piece of 2 and the 2 pieces of 6 are drying, we're going to get 2 blocks again and again another 2 blocks. And we're going to glue them together, and we do this one, but this is only for one side, so we need again 2 and another 2. So again, glue them together and also over here, and we're going to squeeze it And we're going to let this dry in also a couple of minutes. So this 4 pieces of 2 are also drying. And now the last what we need for 1 pumpkin is of course 2 times 6 again for the other side. And then we have the whole pumpkin in pieces, but we have it, if everything is correctly, we have it complete. And we're just going to roll them together. Oh, you see already, I'm already doing this one, but I forgot totally the other one. But that's also DIYing. Just forgetting something. I forget sometimes so many things. But at the end, it always will come out right. And you know, if everyone paid attention already, you think, what's he doing? There is no bottom. And you are right, there is no bottom. Not yet, at least. We are always making first the pumpkin and then we're going to look how big we're going to want to bottom, because you can also use this as kind of an organizer. That's at least my intention, to use the pumpkins also as organizer or maybe for decorative ways. So we're going to give this a couple of minutes drying also. So now we're going to get 2 of the pieces of 6. We're going to place them straight up. We're going to get 2 of the pieces of 2. So very easy. We do on both sides some glue, on this side and of course on the other side. Place them over here on the inside of your block. You do one over here and you do one over here, and you place this one also on the inside. And if everything is correctly, you can easily fill it up with this one and you can make your shape that it looks more like, we call a rechter, you call it a tangle, if I'm correctly, I don't really for sure. I have to look it up. I write a rectangle. I hope I have it right. And maybe I say something totally different. But for me, I thought it was a rectangle, if I'm correctly. But I will look it up in a moment. So you give it some pressure and we're going to, if you have the shape you like, of course, then let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So we give this one a couple of minutes rest. We're going to place this one also over here. We take another one of 2 pieces of 2 and we're going to glue this one. And we place this also on the inside and we do here the same. And then we already have 2 of our little boxes and we're going to fill it up with the other one, and then we're going to give it some pressure and make sure that you have it filled in and in the size you want to have it, and then give it again some pressure from the side, not too much, because your blocks, also the 6 rows, is not totally dry and then everything will fall apart. If you use some hot glue, it is sticking immediately, but if you press too hard, then you also break this side, so don't do that. So I'm going to let it rest in for a couple of minutes. So if everything is correctly, now you have 2 from this kind of rectangles, if it's correctly. Now we have 1 loose of 2. What we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on both of the sides, on this side. And we do it on this side. We place it in the middle of the 6. So this is 2 left over and 2 over here, and you place this one also against here. You're going to squeeze it to make 1 piece out of it, like this. So it's very easy, just squeeze it together. Then you get your block and you do some glue on the underside over here, and you place this one in the same length like you have this block. For this correctly, you have the same like you have here, you have now over here, and you place this one in the middle and give it some pressure. And again, make sure that you have it in the same length as the other one. Of course, I need to move it a little, and then we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. In the meantime, while this is drying, we're going to take 2 rows of 6, so here the same, and 1 row of 2, and we do the same. We do on the length of the block, we do some glue, we place them together over here, and number 5 and number 6, we have here the same, and we row them easily together, and this one, and number 5, and of course number 6, and the last is only 2 blocks, and we're going to squeeze it, make a straight line. We squeeze this one from within, then to the outside, and then squeeze it from the outside and then over here, and we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to wipe away the glue because we don't like too much glue up our DIY. And over here, of course, make sure that you make a straight line again and let this dry in for a couple of minutes. And yes, I am back again. Of course, this is drying, but we shouldn't glue this way together. Of course, we're going to break it up. That's the great thing with wood glue. Just wipe away the blocks and the glue on this side, because of course we should have glued it on the tops and not on the sides. So this way, you're going to squeeze it, press it together, wipe away the glue and let it dry. And that's also DIYing. I also show you what goes wrong. I was in my mind somewhere else and I will think this is not correct. So 2 of 6 this way and 1 of 2 of 1 over here. Now I'm going to glue some glue on this side, over here a little line, and we're going to do this on this side and a little line, and we place the 1 of 2 in the middle. So over here we place this one against here, and we place this one against here. Make sure that you feel with your fingers that you have a nice fitting. So over here, and give it some pressure and wipe away the glue and let it dry in. So if everything is correctly, and you see right now, if you place it this way, it doesn't fit. So we place this with the block straight up and this block this way. We place it over here, and you see already we have a nice fitting bottom for our organized pumpkin. Of course, this will be very simple. We just turn it over. I have to do my hands this way. And we're going to go around and try to do it on the inside of the pumpkin. And we do here also on the inside. Over here, this one big mess. I'm sorry, I do it with my wrong hand. And I'm going to place it over here and exactly in the middle. Let it fall down and make sure that you give it some pressure from the top over here, and that everything is fitting nicely inside here. And we're going to let this dry at least for a half hour. So for the second pumpkin, we're going to make a bigger one. We have 5 pieces of 4 on the table. What we're going to do, we're going to make cute little squares. This is one. We're going to place another block against here this way. We get another block. We do some glue on the longer side also. We place this one on the inside over here, and we're going to do this one on this side and on the inside. Very easy. And we're going to turn it over and place it over here, and if everything is correctly, it is nicely fitting inside. And of course, we made this kind of cute little squares already for a long time. So we do again on this side. We place this one on the inside. We get another one over here, and we place this one on the inside from this block. And now we only need to glue for this line and on this line, and we place it over here again, and you have glue on each side. Squeeze it and press it together until a nice little square. Of course, I do the other 3 a little faster. So we place our little squares, our 5 little squares over here. Now we have on the table 3 rows of 7. So very easy. We do some glue also on the side, and we're going to make 1 row out of it. And this is already number 6, and number 7 is the closure up. And this is 1. And so we go on, and this is so easy to do. You don't have to cut it. And you can decorate any way you like. And of course, we need to let it look like a pumpkin because it is a little bit like an organizing pumpkin. So you can do something inside. And this one is maybe so high, you can maybe do some spoons inside and use it as a utensil, if I say it right. At least I hope I say it right. I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to give this some pressure. Squeeze it. And also from this one. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest after we wiped away the glue we don't need. Over here. And make a straight line again before you let it dry in. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We turn them over. We're going to place 2 of them on the side. We do some glue on the top side. And on this top side. And then you already have the bottom of your larger pumpkin. And again, give it some pressure from the sides and fill in the open gaps. And of course, be sure that you feel also over here that you have a nice line. And I think this one needs to go down a little. And I think he is already looking nicely. So we have the bottom, we have the inside, and now we need our sides. And you see already on my table are a lot of blocks because it is 6 rows of 9. So 6 rows of 9, and we're going to easily also this one rowing together the same like we did with the other one. But this size will be much bigger. Like I told you, you can use it as an maybe utensil or something else. You can decorate it any way you like. So I'm only doing this row together with you, and the rest I'll do a little faster. So you see already, now we have 6 rows of 9 blocks. We're going to do now. We're going to do 2 on the side. This was a little bit strange English. Of course, this one. And we're going to do for this one. And the last. Of course, on the tops, make sure that you have each block. And we're going to, you see already, place this over here. We're going to place this one over here. This one over here. And this one over here. And now we go make sure that we nicely fill in the open gaps. And most of the time I turn it a little, so I have a little bit more pressure to the sides. And we do here the same. Make sure that you feel with your fingers, turn them, and give it some pressure from the sides to fill in the open gaps as much as you can. And feel still with your fingers that you have a nice line. Work away the glue. And we're going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. These are 2 of the sides. Now we need the other 2 sides. And again, you see already on the table are 6 rows of 6 blocks. The other was 6 rows of 9. This is 6 rows of 6. So again, very easy. The same like we did with the other. It's a lot of gluing on the longer side today. So we're going to do only this one, and the rest I'm going to do a little faster. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to place 2 on the sides again. We do here the same on the tops, some glue, some small line, like this, over here. I'm going to over here and this one. And we're going to place them down over here. We do here the same. And here. And here. And we're going to press it together, turn it over, make sure that we fill in the open gaps as much as we can. And if you have too much open gaps and you don't want to have more, you can use some speckle or maybe some wood filler. I always use wood filler, but with this way, if I only let it dry in for a couple of minutes, it works perfectly, and you can easily work away a lot of your open gaps. You see already here's also one still, but if you're going to give it a little bit of pressure, you already work this one away. So it is very easy to do. It is only gives a little bit of your strength. That really, that's the bad thing, because I don't know, everyone has the same strength as maybe someone else. So we're going to give this only also a half-hour drying, as the same like we do with the other two. So we gave all the 4 sides a half-hour drying. Of course, it's not completely dry because wood glue is always overnight. Then you have the great steadiness you need. But we're going to work with it. What we're going to do, I'm going to glue some glue on the line, on this line. And I have the blocks pointing this way. So you see, I showed you this way. This way we have it on our table. And this one also we do now on the ending some glue over here. This way. We're going to place one of the sides of the smaller one also in the length. We're going to place them at the ending over here and make sure that we press it in and we have it over here. We do here the same on the other side. Feel with your fingers that you have it in a straight line. And give it a couple of minutes a rest. So we gave it a couple of minutes. Now we do carefully, we do some glue on the top over here. And we do on this side. And then we're closing it up with the last of the sides. And we're going to go for very easy and carefully place it on the top. Let it fall down. Make sure that you have it over here. And that everything is fitting nicely over here and here. And then you're going to let it rest, give it a little bit of pressure from the top and let it rest for at least half an hour again. So you see already, this is how it's looking like right now. We are going to do some glue on the inside, of course, over here and around here. Over here, make sure that everything has some glue. And now we're going to place our piece on top. And if everything is correct, you only have a little small border over here on this side and on this side. Just give it some pressure and make sure that you have them on the sides in between the lines, because that's fitting very correctly. Only you have here a little overlay, but not too much. Again, give it some pressure and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. And we're going to place this aside and we're going to go further with the other pumpkin. So our bigger pumpkin is drying. We now have our smaller one, and of course it still looks a little like an organizer already, but we need to let it look like a pumpkin, of course. First, I'm going to get some wood filler, and I am just a simple brand. This is the cheapest one from the Action over here, and of course it's similar like the Dollar Tree. It's all such a kind of a store. The only thing you have lucky with is you have a lot of more home decor there. So what I'm going to do, this one was only I think 170 for one tube, so it is very cheap. We are going to do the sides. We're going to give them some texture. You see here, I'm just going to get it out and I'm going to place it on this one, and I'm just going to work with it, and it's always so relaxing to do this way. And I'm going to give it a nice texture just to make it sure that it looks a little bit more like a pumpkin, of course. And easy, you just squeeze it out and you place again. And this is drying only already in a half hour, so that's easy. And of course we do the underside, and we're going to try to fill in. And of course I also do the top side, not inside, only the borders around there. So I take my time for it because it's so relaxing to do. One pumpkin is already drying. I'm going to get my 4 pieces of the little squares. What we're going to do, we're going to roll them together until one piece. And this one over here, so we're going to look for which one is fitting the best. Maybe you get it this way, and this is not really fitting nicely. Always work with it and look for which size is getting a nice shape. Maybe you can do it on the other side. This works better, you see already. Now I'm going to get some wood glue and I'm going to do easy some glue in the middle. I do here the same. I place them together. We do here the same and we simply row them in one line. Over here we're going to squeeze it and press it and make sure that we get one big stamp over here. And we're going to wipe away the glue, and of course you can easily turn them over, wipe away the glue, and it doesn't matter if it falls apart because like I told you, you can so easily glue everything together again. So this way, and we do this side and this side, and then we're going to let this dry in at least 4.5 hours before we glue it inside of our pumpkin. So you see already my wood filler is already dry in a little, but before it's totally dried in, I'm going to get some beads, and I think I'm going to use the square ones or maybe the kind of the diamond shape, and I'm going to place them in here around the border so it gets a little bit more like a high-end look pumpkin. But I think I'm going to go for the square one. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to start in this corner and I'm just going to press them in. On this side, I show it to you in a moment. Don't worry, I will press it down. So you see, this is how we will look like, and I go so totally around this side and around this side. So you see, this was so easy. You just do a little bit of your wood filler on top of the bead and you just place them inside. And if everything is correct, you only have little openings over here. And this is how it then, I think it looks already a little bit more high-end and a little bit more like a pumpkin. So we're going to let this dry in. And now we're going to work with the other pumpkin. So now we take, of course, the little underpiece of our pumpkin, which you can use as an organizer. I'm going to get my wood filler again, and I'm going to do the sides and the top first with my wood filler and give some texture on it. So again, we're going to do very easy. Place it on the side. We do some wood filler. Of course, you can use a lot of wood filler over here because it's a big piece. So we just go around and we have no idea what we're doing, but just make sure that you get a kind of a structure over here. And I have more tubes than this, but you don't have to do it very thick because it only needs to give a little texture. You don't have to just smack everything inside of your wood filler. That's not really the meaning, but you can make it as thick as you like. But I am always loving to work with this, but I think you already can see that I am really enjoying this. I can do this all day. Believe me. So I'm going to go and I do all the sides. And you see already, I have everything under the wood filler. I took out of my stash 4 wooden ladders like this. They are a little bit of the thicker ladders. You can use any ladders you like. You don't have to do it. You can also do some ladder piece over here and then write fall on top of here. You can change it up any way you like. I'm going to do the word fall and I'm going to squeeze them inside of my structure of my texture, and of course I place them in here so fall is popping out. You see already I have my letters pressed inside and I hope that they stick and they will stay in place. Of course, now we're going to get my stamp. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on the underside. Oh, of course it's better if I do the lid off. That works always a little better. So I'm going to do some glue on the inside over here. And I'm going to place this one in the middle of our piece and we're going to let this dry in for at least also a half hour. So I have everything now in place. Of course I brought in some texture. Of course I did my beads, I did my letters. We are almost ready to paint it and let it look more like a pumpkin. But at the end I did take my bag with my half round and I have them in different sizes. And of course you can use also a bead. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place on the top, I will place here a big one and on the other one also a big one to give it more kind of softness, but at least a little bit more a high-end look. So I'm going to do some round, do some glue over here and I'm going to place it on the top exactly in the middle. And I do on the other one also. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to paint the middle piece, and I will do it in the brown color. But I found the dark brown a little bit too hard. So I mix it up with a little bit of white, so I have a little bit of the lighter brown color. I'm going to get a very thin pencil, a brush, like you call it. We call it pencil, you call it a brush, and I'm going to go carefully on the side and to the inside. So I take my time for it. Of course, we are going to do also the same with the bigger one, and using the same brown color, but I've used a little bit of a bigger pencil. Of course, brush. I'm so sorry. Every time I keep falling into the Dutch language. But of course, we got, like I told you, it's pencil for us, but it is for you, of course, a brush. So I'm going to go down and make it in the, I think it is a nice little bit of a chocolate brown color. You see, I can show it to you a little better this way. And I am really loving the color. It's a little bit minder harsh on you when you see it. So it's a little bit lighter. So now I did the stamp of the pumpkin. Now I'm going to do the outside and the inside. I'm going to do for a little bit of the, basic darker orange color. So a little bit of the warmer color. So I'm going to try to do some red on my old saucer. So of course, I have to make sure that I have enough, because you don't want that you don't have enough for one piece. That's not what you want. So I'm going to mix it, I think, red with a little bit of black or maybe brown. So I was thinking to mix everything, but I was looking in my stash and I already have the color over here which is already mixed together. So I use this one, and it looks a little brighter on the camera, but it is a little bit of the dark orange color. So I'm going to start with a small brush inside of the frame. So very easy. I'm just going to do some little bit of glue on the top of my brush, and I'm going to go carefully go inside and make it nice, because you're going to use it as maybe for some decorative, of course, or you can do some little bottles inside. You can do anything you like. So I'm start on the inside and work my way to the outside. So both of our pieces are in the orange color right now, and now we're going to try to let it more look like a pumpkin. But first we're going to let this dry in. So you see already on the table I have the smallest pumpkin, of course. I have here my wire, and I have a little bit of the thicker wire, but he is very bendable, because I want to have something that I can make some curls with. So I have them in different colors, in green, silver, copper, and of course gold. And I'm going to go for gold, and I have here some leaves over here and some greenery, because I make mine filled with greenery, but you can do any thing inside you like, especially the little one. You can do a little things inside for the fall season, but you also can make it for another season. So I'm only going to show you the smaller one. The other one I do out of camera, because or else it takes much too long of your time, but it gives you a little bit of an impression how it will be. So I'm going to get my wire, and I'm going to cut in two same pieces, a length. Of course, I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to do another one. Oh, I almost kicked you over. So we're going to go for a second piece, and of course over here. So we have two of the same length. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and bend it in half. So I have two, at least I know where the middle will be, over here. And now I'm going to go place this in the middle, and now I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to bend it this way. I'm going to go over here to this side. I'm going to go over to this side, and it is a little bit tricky, because it's always a little bit difficult to get it the same way you want to have it. Of course, we do this one also in the middle, but if you have a better way, just go ahead, do it whatever you think is right. I always say I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go this way, and this one to this side, and this one to this side. So if everything is correctly, you can push it down and we're going to place it down in between the beads over here. So we are going to go now get some curls in of all the 4 pieces, but I do that later. First I'm going to decorate it further, because if I do the curls already, probably they will go out of each other. So, and that's not what we want. So I'm going to get a little piece of raffia. I don't know how you call it, but this is just a hanger, and I just bought the hanger because it was only 170. So I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to make some bow for all over here. So, but before I'm going to make the bow around here, I'm going to do some leaves, and I just cut off some leaves. I chose a little bit of the browner color, neutral tones, but you can do maybe orange leaves. You can just, I always get this kind of branch and just cut it off. It's more for your money. You have more leaves. So I'm going to very easy do some glue around the stems. And I'm going to squeeze them inside over here. And I'm just going to go them on places I think he looks nice. But of course, you can do it anywhere you like. Of course, I shove it in also a little bit in the wire and place it down. I do here the same. Of course, we have to make sure that it goes down. I think I'm going to go for 4 leaves, a little on each side over here. Of course, we have to work with it and get it inside this way. And we're going to go for the other side. And a little on the stem. And I'm going to make sure that I squeeze it inside of here. And we're going to give it a little moment of drying. So you see, I did the leaves around here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fill it in with my greenery, because I love greenery, but you can decorate it any way you like. So I'm going to fill it in with some greenery to give it a little bit of a different touch to your pumpkin, because not everyone has the same pumpkin. So I'm going to fill in some greenery over here. And now I'm going to get my raffia. Of course, raffia, I don't know, I just sound like very different. I'm going to get, and I'm going to go around over here, and I make sure that I have it just the simple way you tie your shoes. So very easy. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to place it on top of here and press it. Make sure to get this one. And I do it a little bit on this side. And very simple, and just a simple bow over here. And I'm going to make sure that I press it down. And we're going to work with our bow. And it is a little bit difficult because you still have the wires over here. But this way and this way, and I'm going to press it down over here. And I'm going to go now make some curls in my wire. So you see already I was a little bit trying to make some curls, and I just did wind it around my finger, but you can easily make the shape you like because it's very easy to do. And again over here. And I'm going to do the other two also, and you see in a moment a quick impression and how I decorated the big one. And you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling towel blocks pumpkins. Of course it is a little bit different, I know. And I did the bigger one, I did some snow blanket in the inside, and then I did some greenery on top. So that's why I filled it up, because I love the same greenery like I have with the smaller one. So I hope you give this pumpkins also a try. And everyone who is new here, of course, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Everyone, we hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Something could be your day.